In the infinite darkness, when nothing yet existed, no heavens, no earth, no light, no life, there was only God. He is the Eternal One, from everlasting to everlasting, unchanging forever. And from Him, the entire universe was born. Genesis chapter 1 opens with a short yet majestic declaration. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is the origin of all things, the beginning of the universe, the beginning of life, and the beginning of our very existence. Day 1, light appears. Into the emptiness, God spoke. Let there be light. And light came to be. That first light was not merely physical brightness, but a revelation of God's own presence. For He Himself is the eternal light. He separated the light from the darkness, calling the light day, and the darkness night. Lesson for us. Our lives once were covered in the darkness of sin. But when God speaks, His light pierces the night, bringing hope, newness, and life. Day 2, the expanse of the sky. On the second day, God said, and an expanse appeared, separating the waters above from the waters below. He called the expanse sky. Order was established. The chaotic waters were set in place, making room for life to flourish. Lesson for us. God is a God of order, not of chaos. When He works in our lives, He removes confusion and brings direction, structure, and purpose. Day 3, land, seas, and vegetation. On the third day, God commanded, let the waters under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. He called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters seas. Then life appeared for the first time on earth. Green plants, grass, seed-bearing herbs, and fruit trees producing fruit according to their kinds. Abundance spread across the land. God is the giver of life, and His life is never scarce. It is overflowing, plentiful, abundant. Lesson for us. Our lives can be barren and dry like desert soil. But when God speaks, life springs forth. He plants the seed of faith in us. And as we follow Him, our lives bear fruit. Day 4, the sun, moon, and stars. On the fourth day, God created two great lights. The greater light to govern the day, the sun. The lesser light to govern the night, the moon. He also made countless stars, placing them in the sky to shine on the earth, to mark days, seasons, and years. God not only created light, He also established time itself. Day and night, the 4 seasons, all moving in perfect rhythm according to His design. Lesson for us. Our time is in His hands. Every stage of life, childhood, youth, adulthood, old age, is woven into His perfect plan. When we entrust our time to God, we walk in true security. Day 5, fish of the sea and birds of the air. On the 5th day, God said, let the waters teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. At once the seas burst with life. Whales, fish, and countless sea creatures swam through the waters. Above, the sky was filled with birds of every kind, from soaring eagles to tiny sparrows, from humble swallows to radiant peacocks. God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. He delights in life that multiplies and fills the earth. Day 6, Part 1, animals on the land. On the 6th day, God made every kind of creature on the land. Livestock such as cattle, sheep, and goats. Wild animals like lions, tigers, and elephants. Small creatures that crawl and creep along the ground, each according to its kind. Every species displayed the brilliance and wisdom of the Creator. When we look at the richness of biodiversity, from the tiniest bee to the massive blue whale, we cannot help but marvel at the infinite wisdom of God. Day 6, Part 2, Humanity. And then, the crown of creation, humankind. God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness. so that they may rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind, male and female, in His own image. He blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and every living creature that moves on the ground." Humans were not just another species. We were created in God's image, with a soul, with will, with the ability to love and create. The Garden of Eden. God gave mankind a dwelling place of beauty, the Garden of Eden. A lush paradise with rivers, fruit trees, and every delight. Animals lived in harmony. There was no death, no hatred, no sin. This was God's original intention for humanity. To live in perfect fellowship with Him, in peace, joy, and blessing. Day 7, Rest. After 6 days of creation, on the 7th day God rested. Not because He was weary, but to set a principle, a holy day of rest. A day for humanity to pause, to worship, and to remember the Creator. Light bulb lesson for us. In our busy, restless world, we too need a Sabbath, a sacred pause. To return to God, to renew our souls, and to restore order to our lives. The overall meaning of Genesis 1. God is the sole creator. Nothing came by chance, everything is intentional and designed. All creation is good. 6 times the text says, "And God saw that it was good. And when He looked at everything together, He declared it was very good." Human beings bear God's image. This gives us dignity, value, and eternal purpose. Order and purpose. Genesis 1 shows a clear progression. From chaos to order. From emptiness to fullness. From darkness to light. Application for our lives today. When you feel lost in darkness, remember, God can speak a word, and light will shine. When life feels chaotic, He is the one who restores order and peace. When you feel worthless, remember, you are created in the image of God. You are infinitely valuable. When the world seems broken with death, sin, and disorder, lift your eyes. One day, God will restore all things, just as it was in Eden. Dear friend, Genesis 1 is not only a story about the universe. It is a story about you. You were created by God, in His love, for His eternal purpose. And remember this. When God looks at you, He still says, "It is very good."